Hey-o! It is a Monday. Greetings and salutations, and welcome everybody to the drive here from the Finley Hyundai Studios, just off Brigham Road, not far away from Desert Hills High School. We come at you, Devin, Dixon, Paul Ratliff, Tara Atkin, the whole crew back together for the first time in over a week.
Feels like a while, yeah.
Over a week. Tara was scuba diving.
Yeah.
Paul and Tara got back, then I was gone. A little quick 3-day golf trip. And now we got the band back together on a Monday morning. And boy, we are loaded today with content. Paulie, how was the weekend?
Great.
Found your keys? Everything was good?
Yeah. Had the keys, just were
He
in
didn't
the back
ever
of the
actually
car.
lose them. He just locked them in there.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Paulie had a little mishap, but problem resolved. You made it home safe and sound.
I did.
Yeah. I hate locking my keys in the car. I haven't done that in a minute.
Yeah.
It's tough to do nowadays.
It is.
Usually they have the sensor and
That's right.
You have to override that thing to lock the keys in the car.
That's right.
Yeah, it was
I
surprising.
did whatever I could to make it happen.
Yeah.
And it happened.
Yep.
So good
Yep.
for me.
Tara, weekend was good?
It was great, yeah.
Good stuff.
Really good weekend.
I played a lot of golf and then got off my flight in Salt Lake City to watch soccer and then drove home late Saturday night. So I had a nice recharge day tomorrow. Been back in town. So, got to settle in, watch some sports, play some more golf.
Nice.
Believe it or not. I had to get my Rev Golf Tour league match in yesterday.
Dang it, I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, well, I think yesterday was the last day of the week.
Last day.
Yeah, you're slacking.
So I got to get it in this week.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have to play in 5 of the 8, and I think you've already missed.
I've already missed too many,
Yeah,
but
I think you've missed 4.
so I'm not going to make the finals or whatever, but
Well,
that's okay.
yeah, you would have to play in 4 more and hope it was enough.
Right.
Yeah, but you could still make the.
I still want to post a score.
That's what, that would be nice.
So,
that would be
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
We've got lots to get to today. Final week of the regular season for a lot of spring sports athletes, baseball, softball, that kind of thing. We're heading to the postseason, and 10 local sports at the high school level. 10. There's 10 spring sports going down right now. We're going to crown a bunch of state champs in the month of May. Can you believe we'll be into May by the weekend? We will be hosting the baseball reveal show, the 4A reveal show, later this week, and we will be slotting everybody in. So that's going to be. I gotta double check the time on that. I want to tell you the wrong time, but we'll let you know. But it's going to be us from here in the Finley Hyundai Studios, telling everybody where they will be matched up. Maybe we'll have some special guests, some coaches. That'll be fun. So that's coming up this week. We got a Knights Mammoth game, pivotal game 4 tonight.
Yeah.
Delta Center looked rocking from the videos you guys sent me. It looked like it was rocking last Friday night.
It was crazy. It hit 112 decibels at one point.
Yeah.
It's good.
They had their, their rally towels, and it was awesome.
It looked like a ruckus, fun action. And the Mammoth delivered with 4 goals.
Yeah.
So a lot to cheer about.
That's right. A lot to cheer about for the home crowd. And it was definitely one of the louder buildings I've been in the last 10 years, to say the least. It was definitely a action-packed crowd for sure.
I thought that the jersey swap caught a lot of attention this weekend.
Hundreds of people showed up for that.
Hundreds of traders showed up for that.
That's right.
People that are really confused about
I'm confused.
what
Yeah, I
being
don't know about
what being a
that.
fan is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I will say this for Ryan Smith, brilliant marketing ploy.
Yeah.
I will give him credit.
They
That's
ran
right.
out of jerseys. He did not have enough jerseys for all the people that showed up.
Yeah, he there was more traders than he thought.
Yes. He wasn't planning for all the traders,
Yeah.
all the turncoats.
Yeah. Bunch of fair weather fans.
Yes.
I mean, I kind of think Ryan Smith did Night Nation a big favor there. Weed out
Getting rid of all the
riffraff,
posers. Yeah.
all the bandwagon fans.
Yeah.
Get rid of them.
Get rid of them. Throw them overboard.
Let Utah have them. Let Utah have them. If you don't know what we're talking about, Jesse Granger from the Athletics going to join us, and we'll get into a little bit more with Jesse, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Get his
great.
thoughts on that.
Yeah.
We used to have him on when he was with the Vegas Sun.
Yeah, I remember whenever he was on when the Caps played the Knights in the Stanley
2017,
Cups,
yeah.
18.
18. It would have been the
And
spring of 18.
Yeah, he
Summer
was
of 18.
on throughout that whole playoff run, and he's great. So glad to circle back with him and get him back on.
Former beer league goalie himself. We'll have to ask him if he's
And
still playing.
Really?
goalie expert. He's like, that's one of his things he does for the Athletic.
he played goalie, yeah.
He breaks it down, and he was very, very complimentary of Vemelka's game 3 in net. Rebound control. I saw some of his tweets. He breaks down the goalies at a really good level. So I'd like to get his take on what he sees from Hart, because I thought Hart gave up a couple softies in that game 3. And we'll see. And Tortorella was asked if you're going to move to Hill in the post-game presser, and he said, nope, I'm sticking with my guy. So want to get Jesse's kind of take on Carter Hart through 3 games as well.
So a lot on the pivotal game for tonight as the Knights try to even the series up 2-2. Mammoth try to take a commanding 3-1 lead. This is a swing game. It's certainly big. Pressure's now on the VGK on the road. We'll see how it plays out tonight. 7:30, they drop the puck. So lots on that game, including less than 25 minutes from right now. Jesse Granger dropping in from the Athletic to break that game 4 down and talk all things Knights and Mammoth. NFL draft, a whopping success in Pittsburgh this weekend.
Yeah, it was for sure.
Over 800,000 fans showed up in Pittsburgh. Paulie, I didn't realize, because I thought there was a ton of people when you and I were at the draft in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
What was that, 5 years ago? Was it 4 years ago?
4 years ago.
4 years
I
ago.
think, yes.
And I thought, man, there's so many people here. There was, roughly over 300,000 people, and it felt like it was so many, but add another 500,000 to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Our good buddy Finn, who used to be with us on the show. You remember Finn?
I do.
He was at the draft in Pittsburgh, said it was amazing, was sending me, pictures and videos from Pittsburgh, went out there with his dad and had a good weekend out there. They are Giants fans, so obviously they had a lot of draft picks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Raiders, of course, select Heisman Trophy winner, national champion quarterback Fernando Mendoza, first overall out of Indiana. Dolphins ended up making the most picks with 13 in Pittsburgh, including 2 first-round picks. Ohio State saw the most players drafted with 11 Buckeyes taken overall in the draft. 4 of which were first-rounders. 4 Buckeyes in the first round out of the 11, by the way. This year's Mr. Irrelevant was the final pick, was Red Murdoch, linebacker, taken by the Denver Broncos. Next year's draft is slated to set in Washington, D.C. Thank you, Paulie.
You're welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to go to that one, I think. Get back and... see, it's supposed to be on the National Mall with the White House in the background and all that. So
since Vegas,
even
since Cleveland the year before Vegas, they had about 160,000. Then Vegas jumped to 300. Then it jumped to over 300. Then it jumped all the way up to Kansas City was 600. Then in Detroit it went back a little bit. And then this year, all-time record for attendance, 805,000 fans.
That's
pretty
incredible.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what the World Cup can draw, but the draft is becoming it's becoming a social event almost.
Yeah.
It's something to do. It's a destination. It's a bucket list event. Mm-hmm. That's what that tells me with those kinds of numbers.
Yeah. It's definitely the world swept, or at least the U.S. is swept up by the live draft phenomenon, at least right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. A pair of teams in each conference grabbed Game 4 victories in Sunday's NBA playoff action. In the East, Raptors tied up the series with the Cavs. It's 2-2. They win by 4, 93-89. Celtics bashed the 76ers, just blew them out. And they've got a commanding 3-1 lead. I think the final was 128-96. Out West, Spurs rallied and got the Trailblazers 114-93. And the Rockets avoided the sweep at the hands of the Lakers with a 115-96 win from Houston. 3 more games in the association tonight. So, the ice recap from the weekend. There was 4 playoff games yesterday. Sabres blew out the Bruins. That's
good for Buffalo.
That's 3-1 now.
Yeah.
Avalanche sweep the Kings 5-1. I thought the Kings would win one. I'm surprised the Avs were able to sweep it. But once they got off to that good start, they just really didn't look back. I thought the Kings would get, game 3 or 4.
Yeah.
In LA, just couldn't do it.
Yeah, just an older team. Anze Kopitar called it quits. This was his final game. He announced that before the season. He's their captain. He's kind of their lifeblood, and he calls it quits. They had Artemi Panarin they traded for. So the Kings kind of thought they had bigger things in mind, but instead it's a first round and out for them. And it's a tough team. The Avalanche, that's a really good hockey team.
Ryan Poehling scored in overtime to give the Ducks a 4-3 win over Edmonton. They got a 3-1 lead over the Oilers.
Yeah, I love that.
In that series. So the action continues tonight. All our attention will be on Utah Mammoth facing off against the Vegas Golden Knights, but the Penguins will host the Flyers for their game 5.
Yeah.
Their game ahead than Knights Mammoth in their sequencing. So that'll be before the Knights game. What, about 5 o'clock Mountain Time?
5 o'clock.
Drop of the puck for that Flyers Penguins game 5, and then 7:30 Mountain Time for Knights and Mammoth. NASCAR. We had crazy chaos with Carson Hocevar winning. Talladega and Daytona are like must-watch races.
Yeah.
We were golfing, watching the race on my phone, me and my son, yesterday. Just because I was like, hey, did you record the race? We'll watch it after. He's like, nah, I'm watching it live. I'm like, okay. So we sat there between shots and watched a little NASCAR on the telly phone.
That's
and
cool.
Hocevar. There was a big one. Do we have that, Tara?
We do, yeah.
This was the big one from Talladega. If you missed the race yesterday, Fox had the coverage. About every car in the field was involved.
Yeah.
Through turns 1 and 2 and all the way down the back. Thrown away, and Wallace is in the wall right after contact.
Right front of the pack. Blaney's around. Logano's around. They're all wrecking. This is the big one. That's the whole field.
Wow.
This is the big one.
4 cars were in front of that crash. 1 car, McDowell, was behind it.
I mean,
there was 5 or 6 cars that were untouched.
Yeah, only 5 that made it through.
Yeah. I mean, everybody, Blaney got knocked out. Bubba got loose there in front. And then HE double hockey sticks breaks loose.
Yeah.
And it's the smoke billowing up. And so Carson Hocevar takes the checkered flag at the Jack Links 500.
Yeah.
Matthew Fitzpatrick and his brother win. Alex Fitzpatrick is his brother's name. They win the Zurich Classic. They finished atop the leaderboard, 31 under par. They win by one stroke. Talking about smoke in NASCAR. Yeah. Alex Smalley and Hayden Springer were tied with a couple other guys, Chris Ventura and Christopher Rattan, at 30 under. Ben Griffin and Novak were tied for 10th, the defending champs, at 26 under. Tony Finau was playing with Matt Gracerman. Tony had an 8-footer to make the cut on the par 5 18th hole of the second round. He missed it. And same thing for Patrick Fishburne and Zach Blair, who were partnered up and flirted with winning this in prior years. They missed the cut on the number. Both teams 9 under didn't make the weekend. So we didn't have anybody local playing the weekend there. But those are kind of some of the big stories that everybody should be talking about around the water cool today. Stories we've been saving, we'll get into in Big Deal, No Big Deal. We're doing it next. Then Jesse Granger from The Athletic. We're absolutely loaded, off and running on a Monday. Glad to have you in on the drive. Gravy, young gravy, everybody. Let's go. TA getting us all fired up here. Segment number 2, hour number 1 on a Monday fun day. We love our Mondays. Devin, Dixon, Paul Ratliff, TA pushing all the buttons. We are the Drive Morning Show crew. Show today brought to you by Prime IV. I took my daughter. She had a soccer tournament last week, a state cup. So I went into Prime IV and, dude, we dipped over after our champion drip and snuck into the Eden Head and Foot Spa for the first time ever.
Oh, yeah?
And I got the scalp massage at Eden.
Nice.
Oh, my goodness. Mother's Day is coming. She's going to love it. Tara's amped, just hearing me talk about it. Get mom a nice, relaxing head and foot massage from Eden. You can get her a drip. They've got some Mother's Day packaging. Go to the website, check it all out. Do something a little different this year for mom. Get her a nice, relaxing day at Prime IV. Get her all feeling good in tip-top shape. PrimeIVSTG.com. It's time for Big Deal, No Big Deal. Let's do it right now.
All
Yeah,
right. One
let's
of my
go.
favorite sounders.
Let's go.
Right there. All right. Big deal, no big deal. Boston Red Sox fired their longtime manager, Alex Cora, along with 5 other coaches.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, okay, you're 10-17, you're off to a bad start. You feel like the team needs a change in leadership, but they clean house. I mean, they even down to Jason Varitek gone, reassigned. I mean, even though he wasn't fired, he's probably with the minor league team or something now. They're AAA affiliate. Who knows? Like, I think the players were shocked in this, Pauly. So I do think that this was a little bit of a surprise this early.
Yeah.
Craig Breslow, the team president, Sam Kennedy, and the owner, John Henry, none of them were on the road trip. But they flew in from Boston to Camden Yards. They were playing in Baltimore to deliver the news, and they blindsided the team, blindsided Cora. Nobody saw it coming. So I would say this is a big, big deal. And as a player, you got to look yourself in the mirror. They haven't hit it good. They haven't pitched it good. They're last in the AL East. And it should not be a shocker that they're looking for a change out in Beantown.
Yeah, I think it's not a big deal because they're the 11th highest payroll. There's expectations that come with high payrolls, and they're not succeeding. And he's been there a while. Maybe the voice is stale in the locker room, in the clubhouse. So I think it's the right move for the Red Sox, and I think it's a just move by the Red Sox.
Trevor Story, who's an 11-year veteran in the league at this point in his career, said, hey, they're some of the best coaches in the world, and they care more than anybody. And I just felt like they didn't get a fair shot. And when he was pressed on that and asked if, ownership, team management gave a good enough explanation, he said there has to be more conversations. I wouldn't say their reasoning was satisfactory.
Yeah.
So,
he's had 8 seasons. I think he had plenty of time.
Yeah.
2 stints. So
Yeah. I
would say he had plenty of time.
Absolutely justified in a lot of people's mind, no question.
Yeah.
Team was not responding. They technically won Sunday 5-3.
Sure.
But look, I mean, when you work with coaches, they're part of the team. You form a friendship, a bond. Player-coach relationships are usually really strong relationships that can carry through life.
Yeah.
And so this is always a hard pill to swallow, especially when you totally clean house. So this one was a little bit of a shocker for the Red Sox players inside the organization.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, yeah. I bet it sends shockwaves through the clubhouse, but at the end of the day, I think it's the right move, and it should have been done. So
he had rare managerial power that not all managers have. Like, he had full autonomy, and they let him go. They let him go. All right, moving on.
All right. Big deal, no big deal. 2 Utah Utes were drafted in the first round for the first time in the program history.
Yeah, this is a big deal. Obviously, Spencer Fano goes early. Caleb Lomo goes a little later in the first round. But both these guys headed to NFL teams after being on a really good Utes team and a great offensive line last year, one of the best offensive line units in the nation. So hats off. I was really excited. Met the now Michigan offensive line coach at the Mammoth game. He was there last year, was in town for Spencer Fano's draft party, coincidentally. So it was pretty cool talking to him, getting a little perspective from him on those guys just between an intermission at the Mammoth game. But pretty cool stuff for these two guys, and a really big thing for the Utah program, getting 2 first-rounders. Not many schools can do that.
Well, it tells you the college game's changed, but the one thing that hasn't changed about the Utah Utes, and this is why I say it's a big deal, is they get guys NFL ready in the trenches. I mean, offense and defensive line, your front 7, front 5 on offense and defense, Utes get dudes drafted. And this was a historic, you said historic first round. First time Utes have had 2 players go in round 1 all time. So Fano goes 9 overall to the Browns. Massive upside at tackle. He could be a cornerstone type guy, one of the highest Utah draft picks ever, really. I mean, I know Alex Smith was one, but I mean, top 10 picks don't happen every day out of the University of Utah. Then Caleb Lomu goes 28 to the Patriots. He didn't allow a sack in college last season. And they traded up. They wanted him. They
wanted him.
Like right there, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, right there at the end of the first round. Everybody was moving up to get the guy they wanted that had fallen to late first round.
Yes.
So,
and there was a lot of offensive tackles drafted in the first round.
Well, so, it tells me the NFL trusts the Utes' development in the trenches, technique, toughness that translates. Not a depth class for Utah college athletes, but there was certainly 2 big first rounders out of the U, which was
that's right,
which was big time,
really cool.
So got to go big deal on 2 big old linemen going in the first round.
All right, big deal, no big deal. The Mammoth take a 2-1 lead over the Knights with another home game tonight.
I'd say it's a big deal, but opportunity to go 3-1.
Of course you would.
Yeah, 3-1.
And I would say no big deal. It's a 7-game series.
Yeah, you're playing the long game, but, no Knights fan is comfortable right now. You can lie and say you are. I mean, you can say that everything's okay.
You can't say that the Mammoth have clinched the series.
That was a beating. That was a beating the other night. It was a bad showing from the Knights and Carter Hart. And I can't wait to talk to Jesse Granger because he's an expert and he's an insider, but they looked bad.
Why don't you give credit to the Mammoth? Why are you taking shots at the Knights? Did the Mammoth not do anything well? The Knights just handed it to them?
I mean, the Knights tripled them up in shots
the Knights
and still lost.
The Mammoth the game.
How do you lose a game when you lead the shots 32-12?
That's what you just said.
They didn't play good.
The Mammoth only had 12 shots on goal.
That's right.
I'm not discounting.
They tripled them up and still lost. That's rough.
Veggie played better.
Veggie played great. He had a great game, and Gunther had a great game.
That's what I was trying to get to, is why are you taking shots at the Knights to jar
I'm just
me
saying
instead of giving the Mammoth credit?
You're playing the I'm cool, everything's good card, I think a lot of Knights fans on Twitter are as well. And I don't think everything's cool. You lose tonight, it's cooked. It's over.
No, it's a best of 7 series.
Okay.
The math is very simple. First to win 4 games.
Yes, I know.
You're not cooked if you lose tonight.
But after tonight, when we're 3-1, then it's going to be panic time, I think, for the Knights.
But you haven't played the game yet, TA.
I know.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, next question.
But what if it was 2-1 Knights? You would be singing a totally different song.
I have seen so many best of 7 series. This is not my first rodeo in the postseason.
All right.
This series is not over. Go look at the statistics. Teams down 2-1 in the best of 7 series win all the time. This is not 3-1. This is not 3-0. This is 2-1.
Yes. It's about to be 3-1.
This is wishful thinking on your part. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. I blame you too.
Oh, why?
Yeah, you've disdained Paul.
Oh,
you've tainted him.
I soiled him.
Yes, you've soiled him.
You have.
Yeah, you've
Okay.
corrupted him.
Yeah.
Yes.
My fault.
You corrupted poor Paulie's weak mind in this whole situation. I don't even know where to go with this.
All right. Let's just take the
We
break.
better go to the break so we can
Yes.
get Jesse on.
Let's go. Let's get Jesse in here. We'll be back with Jesse Granger from The Athletic. Welcome back, everybody. It is The Drive on the Fan Sports Network, brought to you by Coral Canyon Golf Course. I was out there yesterday. Coral is dialed. Oh, my goodness. The play was moving quickly. The fairways were lush. The greens were rolling so good. It was just a beautiful day yesterday. Actually, no W, no precipitation. It was overcast all day long and threatened like it was going to rain, but it never did. Get out and swing the sticks. Coral Canyon is dialed in this spring. 435-688-1700. Get your tee times also at the website coralcanyongolf.com. We're working on attempting to lock in Jesse Granger. If we get him, we will swing to the Knights Mammoth preview of Game 4 tonight. This is what we call in the radio business as improvising. We're going to shift gears until we get Jesse and save the Night Mammoth series, hoping that we can get him here in the next few minutes. To big winners and things that stood out from the NFL draft. And then we'll get back to hockey in just a minute. Probably what stood out in Pittsburgh, 805,000 fans taking in the draft live.
Yeah, it was quite the scene out there. I mean, as far as an NFL draft and the expectations from a city, I think that they were probably got more than they expected with as many people as there were to see really kind of. I felt it had a similar vibe to the draft we went to in Vegas a little bit. Not a ton of dominant elite quarterback prospects. We obviously went to the Kenny Pickett draft with Malik Willis and some of those guys. So this was kind of reminded me of that draft. There wasn't a Fernando in that draft, obviously, but this I think was the most defensive player rich draft in some years. I think at the top, when you've got Caleb Downs, Sonny Styles, Arvell Reese, so many guys that can just create pressure, David Bailey. I think that the best players in this draft were on the defensive side of the ball at the top. And I think a lot of teams got some really big difference makers on the defensive side of the football. And it hurts, but I got to say, I think the Dallas Cowboys really nailed it by trading up and getting Caleb Downs. But a lot of the good defensive players off the board early, as really only 3 offensive guys, Fernando, Carnell Tate, and Jeremiah Love were the only 3.
1, 3, and 4.
7 defense. Well, I think Noah is how his name is pronounced. The tackle from Miami was drafted 10. So 4 out of 10 were offensive players,
which is a great spot to get him.
Yeah, that's a great spot.
Regarded as the best lineman, but Fano went in front of him.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that for Cleveland. I actually thought Cleveland had a pretty complete draft for a change. I mean, you build a foundation there. You're kind of filling a bunch of needs. They had a lot of them, but they didn't just draft well. They built a foundation, I would say. The Eagles under Howie Roseman always seem to have a good draft. I thought the trade up for an elite wide receiver like Mekhi Lemon, plus they've filled some depth spots that they needed. Another year, the Eagles outmaneuvered the board and drafted really well. I thought the Jets with their first round picks, 3 of them. You get some good playmakers, offensive help there.
Bucks got the best value in the entire first round, I think.
Do you?
Reuben Bain, going all the way down into the slips to 15. Was it 14?
Wow, really? Reuben T-Rex Bain.
That's right.
They got the best one now, huh?
Best value as far as where they picked him based on the talent of the player. So I think that is a good value to get him that deep, because a lot of mocks had him top 10, so he drops 5 spots out. So that's pretty good value based on positioning there. Yeah.
Some of the winners from the draft. Some of any other winners. I thought the Cardinals had when you get the best player in the draft, Jeremiah Love, a lot of people said don't overthink that. They took talent, elite talent. They're going to have to pay him a lot of money, which is a little bit controversial, but I thought the Cardinals did a nice job. The biggest loser, everybody is saying, is the Los Angeles Rams because they drafted Ty Simpson at 13. It didn't clearly solve any of their roster issues. Puka Nakua's in rehab right now. And you didn't go get a guy that could really be another weapon for Matthew Stafford, who's still your quarterback. Instead, they go Ty Simpson. So a lot of people knocking the Rams. Your take on that?
Yeah, I don't know that it's the worst pick that everyone's making it out to be, but it's obviously not going to help you for next year. So if you were looking for a impact skill player, an offensive lineman to bolster the line, to help protect Matthew Stafford, all those were valid, I think. But instead, they go quarterback, and they get the second best quarterback in the draft, presumably by most accounts.
But they didn't even have him cracking day one.
I know.
He wasn't even in the mocks as a first-round pick.
It's kind of like the Kenny Pickett pick. Like, I don't think he would have been a first-rounder unless the Steelers took him in the first round. It's kind of like the Ty Simpson pick. He would have probably gone in the 20s, though. I don't think he would fall out of the first round.
The Rams really must see something in Simpson to pivot from the plan to go all in on the reigning NFL MVP. Okay, this is Matthew Stafford, league MVP, Paulie, and you just drafted with your 13th pick. This reminds everybody of what Tennessee did after going and getting Kirk Cousins and then drafting Penix. And it's a kind of a head scratcher. Just doesn't make a lot of sense, but Sean McVay, I know he deserves the benefit of the doubt here. They've been one of the best teams at identifying talent in the draft in recent years. Maybe they're thinking smooth transition because eventually, yes, Matthew Stafford is 30. I think he's 38, 39 years old right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not as old as LeBron in LA, but he's dang close.
Yeah.
And look, Simpson has displayed some significant shortcomings, limitations as an undersized, inexperienced passer. I mean, this just feels like huge stretch for me.
Yeah. It's probably a reach.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Probably could have traded back and still got him, but they had decided to roll with the 13th pick.
Yeah, it's a head scratcher.
Yeah.
Bills loser because they traded around and didn't pick in the first round. So they don't really add any top tier talent. I didn't love that. A lot of people think New England didn't have the greatest draft. The individual loser was Jermod McCoy because he was projected as a high pick. He fell to the fourth round due to some injuries and some health concerns.
Yeah,
one of the
Raiders
biggest.
got him.
Yeah, but where they got him in the fourth round is great value if he turns out.
I was
Great
happy
value.
with that.
Yeah, super good value.
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to strategically move the board. You're trying to fill needs. There was an unusual high number of tight ends taken in this year's draft. That's the other thing that stood out. So, Browns, Eagles, Jets, I think some of the teams, Giants, they got impact players. Losers, I hate to say the Rams drafting a quarterback when you already have one, to me, feels like a loss. Bills, nothing in the first round. How does that help Josh Allen? So those were some of my takeaways from a fun weekend. I always enjoy the NFL draft. Didn't get to sit around and watch a lot of it. Had the draft cast going a lot from the golf cart, but was definitely keeping an eye on the NFL draft. It's one of the funner events. I mean, of the year, no question about it. Anything else that stood out?
I think that's good. Yeah, I think we got it.
We'll see if we can get Jesse locked in. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Get you ready for Game 4 tonight. Knights Mammoth. We're rolling right along from the Finley Hyundai Studios. It's The Drive. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We are rolling through hour one here. It's a game day. Puck will drop 7:30 at the Delta Center tonight. Mammoth and Vegas Golden Knights game 4. Here we go. You had an electric atmosphere in games 1 and 2 in Vegas, and then first ever playoff game in the Delta Center Friday. Here to talk about it, our good buddy Jesse Granger with The Athletic at Jesse Granger on X. He joins us now from up in Salt Lake City. Jesse, good morning. Thanks for carving out some time. How we doing, bud?
Good morning. I'm doing great in a very rainy Salt Lake City this morning. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it's good to hear your voice. It's been way too long. I think Jesse joined us like every week all the way through the inaugural season for the VGK back when he used to write for The Sun, and we had him on a ton back in the glory days, the early days. Is there panic right now for the VGK, a very experienced team? I would say there's probably not, but what have you seen after they trailed 2-1 in the series now after last Friday?
Yeah, very little panic in terms of their demeanor. They're honestly shockingly calm, to the point where you almost wonder, like, maybe you guys do need a little more urgency than you have. And I kind of joke about that. They know what they're doing. They've been in this situation. They were just in the situation in the first round last year against Minnesota, down 2-1, and they ended up coming back to win that series. They are definitely using that to their advantage, and you can tell in the way that they talk and the way that they act that they believe that they're the veteran team in this series and that it's going to help them as the series goes along. They certainly have to hope that, because on the ice, things have not been trending well for them over the last 2 games.
And Jesse, one of the reasons I think they haven't been trending well has been their backstop, Carter Hart. I want you, if you could grade the 2 goaltenders through 3 games. Vejmelka, excellent in the last one, controlling a lot of the rebounds and not allowing much traffic in front of the net to score, besides the one that was left for Eichel right on the doorstep. What has your grade of the 2 goalies been thus far?
Yeah, Vejmelka's been outstanding. He deals with traffic incredibly well. I mean, he's a big guy. He has. I talk to goalie coaches all the time about these guys, and the one thing that always comes up when I'm talking about Vejmelka is his stance and how well he presents to the puck. He's got such a connected. He doesn't allow any space between his arms. When he goes into his butterfly, the puck is not getting through him. It's got to go around him. And that's so valuable this time of year when there's bodies in front of the net. He does a really good job navigating all that. And like you said, the rebound control is what I see the most from him. He's not just making these saves, he's absorbing them and not allowing that chaos in front. Like you said, that Eichel goal was kind of a rebound, but there was a lot going on that play. Outside of that, he's been really good. I think he's been one of Utah's best players. Hart, the first 2 games, I thought he was okay. He was making the initial save. He was giving up some rebounds in those games, but it wasn't costing him typically because the Vegas defense was able to clear the puck out. So there was room for improvement, but he was fine. I didn't think he was costing them games or anything like that. The other night, game 3, he wasn't very good. You give up 4 goals on 8 shots. There were a couple. The first goal by Krause was a tip. Can't really fault him there. They kind of made the first goal sound like it was just an unlucky bounce. It hit off his mask. It was a kind of a freakish goal, but he also probably needs to control that rebound so that it doesn't bounce off him into the net. And then the 4th goal was probably the worst goal either of the goalies have let up in this series. It was just a wrister from Krause at the top of the circle with clear vision. Goalie's got to stop that puck. So I would say that Carter Hart through 2 games had been fine. Last game was an issue for sure.
Big picture, Jesse, what is some differences in this series that have stood out to you between the Knights and the Mammoth?
Well, I think going into this series, I expected Utah to have the speed advantage, and that's been the biggest advantage so far in this series. I thought in Game 1, the Golden Knights nullified that advantage by leaning on the Mammoth and holding the puck down low in the zone, leaning on them, using their physicality, and we never really got to see that speed outside of that one play by Logan Cooley. As the series has gone on, it seems like Utah has kind of stopped trying to engage in that physicality. They'll still throw a hit here or there, but they're trying to play their own game, which is the speed and skill in transition. And it seems like so far, each game that has gone along, Utah's been able to use that speed a little bit more, and that's why these games have started to shift in their favor. It's going to be really interesting to see what Vegas does tonight to try to counteract that, because this is a team that they're not the fastest skaters, but they do have some speed. Jack Eichel's got plenty of speed, and this team seems to figure things out this time of year. So it's going to be interesting to see how they figure it out, because so far it seems like Utah has found a way to use their speed more as each game has progressed.
And Jesse, I wondered if you think some of that speed has led to the muzzling of the offensive production of Jack Eichel. He did have that one goal, obviously. Mitch Marner's kind of been on a milk box this series as well. What have you seen from the top guns on Vegas and the way that Utah has limited them?
Yeah, there's no doubt that is the reason the Golden Knights are in the hole right now, is they just haven't gotten goals from their top guys. You mentioned Jack Eichel scoring last game, but that's pretty much the only goal they've gotten from those guys. Mark Stone scored a couple power play goals in the first 2 games, but nothing at 5-on-5. Marner hasn't scored. Tomas Hertl hasn't scored, and he went the last 20 games of the regular season without a goal. So he's up to 23 games without a goal now, which is pretty wild. Pavel Dorofeev was their leading scorer in the regular season. He hasn't scored yet in the playoffs. And to me, it's not really the speed for Utah. It's more the fact that they're holding them out of the center of the ice. Like, the Golden Knights have had the territorial advantage in all 3 games by a lot. Like, I think I saw the Golden Knights have spent a higher percentage of the game in the offensive zone than any team in the playoffs this year. They are holding the puck in the offensive zone a lot, and it can feel like Vegas is kind of controlling the game because of that. But at the end of the day, Utah is protecting that slot area, and if you hold the puck in the offensive zone but you don't get it into the middle of the ice, it doesn't do you all that much good. And this isn't just this series problem for the Golden Knights. This is what happened last year against Edmonton in the second round when they went out. They couldn't get the puck into that area. They didn't get goals from their big guys, and they ended up losing on a 127-minute scoreless streak against Edmonton. The year before that, in the first round against Dallas, it was a really good Dallas team, but it was kind of a similar story. So we've seen these guys, as talented as they are, they're all kind of passers and playmakers. None of them really like to finish, and we've seen them struggle to get the puck into that area of the ice this time of year. So that, to me, that's the biggest concern if you're a Golden Knights fan.
Jesse, this game 4, 31% of the time, teams that are down 2-1 have come back to win the series. So 69% the other way. So this is a very, very big game. How has Torts changed since he got to Vegas? We saw him really knee-jerk reaction that he's going to stick with Carter Hart in the net tonight. We saw that in the presser after the game the other night. What are your thoughts on how pivotal game 4 is tonight?
Yeah, very pivotal. It's probably the series. I think if Utah goes up 3-1, they're going to feel pretty good about their chances of winning one of the next 2 games. If you're the Golden Knights and you win this and tie it up 2-2, you feel like you accomplished the job up here. As ugly as Game 3 was, going down 4-0, if you get the split, that means you won home ice back. You feel like, okay, we've got 2 of the next 3 games at T-Mobile Arena. We feel good about it. So, yeah, this game's going to be huge. In terms of Torts, yeah, it's interesting because the messaging from he and the team after Game 3 was, we thought we played a good enough game to win. We don't really need to change much. We need to just keep doing what we're doing, and we think that the bounces will eventually go our way and we're going to win. But then their actions showed a little bit different story. They changed quite a bit. They left the fourth line alone with Cole Smith, Nick Dowd, and Colton Sissons, but they moved around everyone in the top 3. They have created 3 kind of balanced lines instead of trying to load up one line. So clearly a different approach. They've got Eichel, Hertl, and Marner and Stone all on separate lines. So we'll see how that plays out tonight. It's going to be interesting. It's a very different look. They also completely changed up their power play units. They had been basically putting all their top players on the one unit and playing them as long as they can on power plays. Now they've evenly distributed them between the 2 power play units to try to look for a more balanced approach. We'll see how it works.
And Jesse, do you see Torts making any alterations to the lines ahead of Game 4? Obviously, the offensive synergy just not there. I know they've made some changes throughout games, but do you think any major line changes set for tonight?
Yes. Yeah, we're going to see the top line is going to be Jack Eichel, Ivan Barbashev, and Pavel Dorofeev, which we have not seen Dorofeev on that top line hardly at all this season. I think he played a couple games up there a few months ago, but he doesn't play up there very often. and they're trying to get Dorofeev going. Like I said, he hasn't scored a goal in these playoffs. He actually only has one goal in, I think, 11 playoff games in his career. So they're really trying to find that out of Dorofeev. He was their leading scorer in the regular season. The second line is going to be Tomas Hertl with Brett Howden and Keegan Colasar. And then that third, well, I guess that's the third line. And the second line is Riley Smith, Mitch Marner, and Mark Stone, which, again, these are lines we're not used to seeing. It's a very different look for this team. So, I'm very excited to see what they look like tonight, because they've made some pretty drastic changes to at least, maybe not the way they're going to approach, play the game itself, but the way they're lined up is very different.
Jesse Granger with The Athletic. His latest story that came out over the weekend talked about the jersey swap and how, early on the Knights, would come through St. George up to Salt Lake into Idaho, the Rocky Mountain region, and growing their fan base in that 2017-2018 inaugural season. And a lot of it had to do with the size of the line at the jersey swap outside of the arena. What was it, about noon on Friday? Fans could take their Knights jersey, swap it for a Mammoth jersey. How many people were in that line, Jesse? Paul, you were around that area too. I mean, it was a lot of people.
Yeah, I didn't count them. It was hundreds. I think I saw something close to 1,000 people, something like that. There were a lot of people out there, and it shows you two things. It shows you how good of a job the Golden Knights did when trying to. Bill Foley, when they first got the team, he said, "We're going to be the team of the Rockies." He wanted to try to claim this territory that didn't have hockey teams, in terms of not just Utah, but Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, all that basically everywhere north of Nevada. And they would go on those trips, and it shows you that he did build some fans up here, and they were on TV, and there were people up here that liked the Golden Knights, and hard to blame them for jumping to the Utah team. When they get a team, it makes total sense. So I think it was a great move by Ryan Smith. It was a great PR move just because of the visuals it created. But yeah, I thought you know what? Being up here has reminded me a lot. You talked about that when you guys used to have me on a lot during the 2017-2018 season. I covered that whole expansion. Being here the other night, seeing all the people outside, seeing the energy inside the building has reminded me so much of that first year for Vegas and just how special that was. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, Paul and Tara are all in. I've still had I'm slow to. I'm Knights. I don't like bandwagon fans. I fell in love with the VGK Vegas born that inaugural season. So I have been slow to transition. In fact, I have not even been to the Delta Center yet to a Mammoth game, Jesse. And Paul and Tara have been how many games this year?
Probably 10 or more.
Yeah.
A lot, yeah. At least.
So there are a lot of different stances on that. But one thing remains, it should be a raucous environment tonight, and it's going to be a very important game.
Yeah, it was real loud the other night, and I expect it to be just as loud, if not louder, tonight. Now that they've got that win under their belt, it's a small building in terms of the area it covers. It's not a big cavernous building like Staples Center or some of the others. It's a small building, so there's not a lot of room for the noise to go anywhere. It feels like the fans are on top of you. It's a really cool building.
Jesse Granger, everybody. Jesse, thanks for joining us this morning. We'll have you on again, and always enjoy your stuff on The Athletic. Go check him out on X at Jesse Granger, and enjoy your stay in Salt Lake City, and we'll see you soon, bud.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Jesse Granger, everybody, from the beer league goalie days. Jesse was a goalie to the Sun, to now The Athletic. He is one of the best NHL writers, I think, out there.
He is. He's very,
if not
very
the
good.
best.
He's very good.
And I like what he said. I think it is a credit. And Ryan Smith, yes, it's a little bit of a troll job with the jerseys, but it's also respect to what Bill Foley did when he went out and built a fan base.
Yes.
I mean, it's probably about 50-50. And Jesse, I think, was spot on with that analysis of that.
I agree.
It makes me not as mad as you guys for standing in line either. Jesse's softening it for you. Hour one flew by today.
Yeah, it did.
Holy smokes. We'll make some more comments on the Knights Mammoth game, 7:30 tonight, coming up in hour two, but should be fun. I know all three of us will be watching, and pretty excited about me just being in front of a television because I really haven't since game one.
Yeah, that's right.
Been traveling a lot.
Yeah.
So it's going to be nice tonight to be able to take this in from the get-go. Hour two, we're going to do some high school baseball, get you top 8 at 8. We've got a lot still to talk about and unpack from the weekend and the draft. So much to get to. Don't have enough time to do it all on a Monday fun day, but thank you for locking us in here in the Findlay Hyundai Studios. We will take a quick timeout, and we will rally for hour two right after this. Hey, welcome back, everybody. It is The Drive. Glad you're with us. Thank you for loading us up, locking us in from the Findlay Hyundai Studios on a Monday. That was fun to have Jesse Granger on the show moments ago. He's one of the best. Go give him a follow at Jesse Granger on X, or go read his stuff on The Athletic. New York Times basically runs and operates The Athletic as a national publication. And I think it's one of the best out there. I mean, The Athletic is kind of taking journalism up a notch. I know you do have to pay for that product or service, but I think it's well worth it. They went out and got some of the great writers around the country that are writing for The Athletic. Do you agree with that, Paulie? Do you read The Athletic? I mean,
do.
I think their stuff is really good.
They do a great job.
Yeah, I think it's the best, to be honest with you, as far as a national publication. Talking about that game with Jesse, that was fun. We'll circle back. We'll get our picks tonight on the game. We'll put a bow on it a little bit later on. But we wanted to get you all caught up with the sports headlines and what's trending this morning. Brought to you by Wilkinson's House of Lighting. Lighting it up since 1946. Let's do it. Yeah. 20 plus years talking sports. Here we go. Story number one from the weekend, probably the NFL draft front and center. We did winners and losers earlier. You've got some big names, and it's hard to really do a headline on the draft because Paul's headlines are for his favorite team, and they got Sonny Styles, and Tara's headlines are the Raiders and Fernando Mendoza and Jamar McCoy, who fell them in the fourth round, and all those things. And I'm looking at my Seahawks draft, going, hey, we only had 4 picks, we ended up with 8 picks. John Snyder does it again. We drafted a safety, a running back, a receiver, an offensive lineman, and a bunch of deep cornerbacks, and I think 3 cornerbacks in this draft. Lost, obviously, Tariq Woolen, and I liked what the Seahawks did as well. Everybody pretty sky high on their draft after the draft.
Yeah, I was happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Raiders did have a really good draft. I was really close to putting them in. I think in Kubiak's first season, he's got some young guys to work with. I think that was exciting. Paulie, I didn't track the Commanders, day 3 picks.
I think they only had like a couple picks left. They only had a first, a third, a 5th, and maybe a 7th or something. So they had limited picks. So really the draft for me was about the 7th pick, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that the 3rd and 4th and 5th rounders can be good players, but for me, first round picks are paramount. They have to hit. They've got to be productive players for you. So I'm really, really interested to see if Styles' combined freakish traits translate to the field. So.
Yep. Story number 2. Yes, let's go soccer. I want to slip this one in before I forget. RSL loses to the LA Galaxy. I'm kind of tracking Real now a little bit after going up to the game about a week and a half ago. And had a blast up there. They won 4-2, and then they had to play Messi and Inter Miami, and then they had to go on the road and play the LA Galaxy. So a little tough stretch here as they lose 2-1 to LA. The team's only goal was on an own goal by the goalkeeper of the Galaxy. They won't play until Saturday. They'll be back at home at America First Field against the Portland Timbers. I'm yelling timber.
Yeah.
Who sings that?
Is it Flo Rida or no? Or is it Pitbull or something? I can't remember.
Be. It could be.
I know which one you're talking about, though.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. It's going down.
Yes. That's
timber.
the one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad
it's Pitbull.
I'm glad you picked that up because I was struggling with it.
Yeah.
Paulie says Pitbull.
Yeah, it is.
NBA headline. Story number 3. Let's go to the NBA. In a Raptors, Celtics, Spurs, and Rockets all grabbed Game 4 wins yesterday in the association. Durant didn't play. Rockets still won. It's still 3-1 Lakers. Luka hasn't played at all in that series. Yeah. The other big thing is Wemby came back and played well. Wemby was back in the lineup, so they got the 3-1 lead in that one. All right, let's go story number 4.
Number 4.
Texas A&M now has 3 5-star commits in their future 2027 class. The latest, Kennedy Brown, announcing his commitment to the Aggies just yesterday. The Texas native chose Texas A&M over Florida, LSU, and Tennessee. Brown is ESPN's 5th-ranked overall in the cycle and now joins defensive end Zyron Forstall and safety Camerooni Dorsey as 5-star pledges for the class of 2027. So AM's paying some dudes some NIL money. That's the translation.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
They got all that oil money.
Yeah.
That's right. I got story number 5 here, as it looked as if there was multiple BYU Cougars picked up by the Raiders. How about this? Chase Roberts, the newest Raider, along with Isaiah Jota, Tanner Wall. All these undrafted guys go to the Raiders, as well as Will Farron goes to the New York Jets. Maury Bamba goes to the Jets as well. And Garrison Grimes, the 3rd Jet. So 3 Jets and 3 Raiders sign undrafted free agent contracts for BYU.
Follow up on that, the Utes, or the Cougars, Jack Kelly, the Giants took in the 6th round.
Yeah.
Carson Ryan, their tight end, Cleveland took them in the 7th round. So those are the only 2 BYU players drafted.
Yeah.
Utah, of course, had Fano and Lomu in the 1st round at 9 and 28. And then Dallin Bentley, tight end, also taken by the Broncos in the 7th round. So
we got Loner the year before. So 2 Utah tight ends find their way to the Broncos. How
yeah,
about
good
that?
point. Yeah, good point. Lander Barton signs a free agent deal with the Chargers. Logan Fanu.
Yeah, he's going to play with his brother, I believe. Yes.
Yep, Cleveland. And let's see, Jaron Kump, their center. Bears gave him a free agent deal. Utah State had a few guys get. Jacksonville gave Brady Boyd, wide receiver, a free agent deal. Noah Avenger, Chargers picked him up. Miles Davis, running back. Seahawks and Raiders both gave him a mini camp invite. Bryson Barnes gets a mini camp invite to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
And man, the long snapper from SU did get a mini camp invite per his long snapping coach, Drew Ferris, to the Raiders.
Nice.
Devin Perkins, former Utah Tech and SU T-Bird, got a mini camp invite to the Raiders. So
nice.
That was really it as far as your free agents and stuff. All right, moving on. Let's go to... Thank you. Number 6. Let's go to the PGA Tour, the Zurich Classic. Matthew Fitzpatrick continues his winning ways. After winning at Hilton Head, he teams up with his brother. They shoot 31 under par and win by 1 at the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. The brothers birdie the last hole to win by 1. Kind of cool for those two. And man, Matthew Fitzpatrick up to number 3 in the world golf rankings right now. He is kind of on a little bit of a golf heater, as they say.
That's quite the heater he's on.
Yep. All right. Headline number 7. Carson Hocevar, after the big one came early at Talladega, where all but about 5 cars took damage. Not all got knocked out, but there was a number of cars at the front of the pack. I think there was like 3 or 4 cars that got in front of the big one, and then the whole middle of the back of the field, just carnage. Carson Hocevar, late push from Chris Boucher, friend of our show. We had him on before the race in Vegas. He takes second, but Hocevar wins it. The 77 car wins his first career Cup Series win. Alex Bowman was 3rd. Chase Elliott was 4th. And Zane Smith, another guy that's having a really good year. He got a top 5 as well. They'll head to Texas Motor Speedway next Sunday for the Worth 400. And final story, high school baseball, Utah Tech baseball. Unfortunately for the Trailblazers, They lose game 1. Bounce back in a great pitcher's performance from Dakota West. They win game 2 on the road at Cal Baptist Saturday, but fall in game 3 to lose the series 2-1. I don't know how big that will be looking back, but that felt like a big series against the Lancers.
Yeah, it did. I bet. I mean, the WAC's tight this year, so I mean they got to get as many wins as they can against these WAC opponents. And that big win over Utah, right? A week ago or so. That's a big win, but these WAC wins more important. So they just got to keep stacking them as best they can.
Beat BYU last week. They
BYU,
play
that's right.
Utah coming up next Tuesday.
It was BYU, my fault.
Yeah. So they lose yesterday 6-0. So rough start there, but they will return home for 4 straight games. They got a midweek game with UNLV tomorrow night, and then the first pitch for that game is 6:05, and then they'll be home this weekend for more in-conference games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So good luck as the Trailblazers still having a good year. Where they 28 wins on the season, still right there. Not out of the race to win the conference, but losing the series does hurt a little bit to the Lancers. No question about it. But this is a resilient team. Tomorrow night, we've got 3 series left. You've got Hurricane Dixie, you got Crimson Pineview, and Cedar Snow Canyon. It will be your matchups. Desert Hills has the end of the season bye, so their regular season is done, and that'll be it for the regular season. Is it crazy to think that tomorrow night about 9:30 we will have the regular season on the books in Region 9 baseball?
Yeah, it's crazy that we're moving along this fast, and after baseball, no more high school sports the rest of the year. It's always a tough time of year, but we got to enjoy the remaining time we have in the state tournament, of course. It's going to be great.
We will have the Boulevard Home game of the week. We might have 2 tomorrow night. We'll let you know in the morning, and we'll officially get that planned out. But we might do that Pineview game and that Dixie Hurricane game. So we might do a doubleheader tomorrow night to put a bow on the season. Of course, we're going to be bringing you playoff postseason games. A lot of our teams are going to earn buys, but there will be a few teams playing this weekend, and we will be rolling out the bracket reveal show on the 30th. So hope you can tune in and watch that. We'll be teaming up with KSL for the 4A baseball reveal show. All right, those are your top 8 today. Headlines, any bonus balls? TA, do we miss anything?
I don't think so.
Polly, anything to add?
I don't think so. We're good.
All right, we'll take the break. We'll be back in a flash. Lots to get to when we come back on the drive on a Monday Fun Day from the Findlay Hyundai Studios. Yep, we're back. Devin, Paul, Tara hanging out with you on a Monday fun day morning from the Finley Hyundai Studios. Good to have you in. Thank you for watching. If you're watching us on the live stream on our YouTube page, just go subscribe, the Fan Sports Network on YouTube. You can watch the show if you're already at the office or if you're chilling at home having your morning cup of Joe. And, of course, welcome everybody in on the app, listen on the website, or on 99.5, 95.3 in St. George, 93.1. What's good in Cedar City this morning? And we are rocking and rolling through hour 2. Show also today, we got to give a shout out. And today's a big day for me. This is the start of another week for me. And I found out how important eating properly is, the nutritional value. Man, I have been on like an education journey since I teamed up with Soda Diet and Nutrition. And to all my friends out there listening, this used to be Soda Weight Loss. They changed their name not too long ago. Just a name that reflects really what they do. They help you build a healthy relationship with food, real food, long term. This is not something you have to do forever. This is something you can do for, 10 weeks or 12 weeks or 20 weeks or until you feel like you've reached your fitness goals. And if you got a few pounds to let go of, you're tired of starting over every Monday, you feel like you're eating way too much, you're frustrated, you haven't been able to stick to something, you don't want to do the shots or the pills. Thousands of people have went through Soda Weight Loss. Go check out their testimonials. It's real food from the grocery store. No pills, no injections, no guessing. SodaDietAndNutrition.com. Join right now, and your partner joins completely free. 2 people. The nice thing I love is the weekly call with my dietitian, the team of them. There's accountability. I'm keeping a food journal, tracking what I'm eating. My wife is doing it with me because it's 2 for 1. No brainer. So SodaDietAndNutrition.com, or I'll give you the phone number if you're old fashioned. You like to pick up the telly and call 866-800-SOTA. 866-800-SOTA. Join us for a short time to have results that last a lifetime. We'll tell you how much I lose later on in the week as just finish up week 3 eating a lot cleaner. I was on a golf trip. I was protein bars. I stocked up before I left. It was a lot of fun. My buddies are like, "You're not going to eat your potatoes?" I'm like, "Nope, you can have them. You're not going to have a tower of tots at the golf course?" I'm like, "Nope, not going to do it." So ate pretty clean. I'm really excited to see if dropped another, 1, 2, 3 pounds this past week. I'm about 5 pounds away probably from where my ideal weight is anyway. So I'm really excited to see. You don't weigh yourself until that next week. Paul, you know this.
Yes.
So I have no idea. I did have to walk through the bushes looking for some golf balls. I know that much. So I know I got my steps in. I know I got some cardio.
There you go.
So that should be good. SodaDietAndNutrition.com. Go check them out and do what I'm doing and get on that 2 for 1 special offer. All right, we got lots to get into here. Man, I'm fascinated by some of the winners and losers in the draft. I'm stoked for the Knights Mammoth game tonight. Paulie, on a scale of 1 to 10, how pumped are you for Knights Mammoth on a Monday night, 7:30 p.m.?
Yeah, pretty excited. I got to say probably like a 9.5 out of 10. Probably where I'm at.
What is keeping you from a 10? Well, there was a little skeptic. What is keeping you from a 10? I mean, playoff game number 2. Ryan Smith's doing 8 more sweets in his box. Everybody's traded in jerseys. Like, what is it? What's keeping it from a 10? It's not the Stanley Cup Finals. It's just the first round or something.
First round, yeah. You can't really give it a 10. That would mean it's perfect. But I'll give it a 9.5.
Tara, where's your excitement meter for the game tonight?
Oh, it's at a 10.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'll be in the building again, and so it's going to be pretty epic.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be. I've been in Salt Lake. I feel like I've been in Salt Lake like 3 weeks in a row. And I got 3 more weeks in a row in Salt
Go
Lake.
again?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I need to get up to one of those games at one of these points. I got to go back up Wednesday night, but Wednesday night they're in Vegas, right? Or is it Thursday night?
I believe Wednesday. Let me check.
I was thinking that they were going to play last night. I was kind of lost track of time.
It is Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
Yeah.
I was kind of losing track of time because I was just 36 holes a day. And I was excited because I got home and I'm like, I can watch the night Sunday night. And then it was tonight.
Yeah.
So I'm still good. I'm still good because we don't have high school baseball till tomorrow night. So we're good. I'm probably like 9-6, 9-7. This is as much as I can downplay and say, yes, it's a best of 7 series. This is a must win for the VGK. I was looking at the line right now. Paulie, have you looked at the line?
Yeah.
Knight's minus 120, so they still are the slight favorites in this game, and the Mammoth are even money.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I'd expect the books expecting a pushback from the Knights tonight.
The other big thing that we got into, remember our buddy Jeff Goodman? We haven't talked about the DeBanza press conference yet.
Yeah.
What the heck was that all about?
I don't know.
Like
that was a miss by him.
Ace calls the presser, and I was like, I'll believe it. And Paulie sent the tweet from Jeff Goodman to Tara and I, and I'm just like, no way he doesn't go to the NBA draft. But Jeff Goodman had some bad info, or Ace DeBonza is sneaky to get people to go to the press conference and leaks some information that he might be staying in college and it might be close to home or something. Goodman runs with it. But AJ did not say, I was like, what would UMass have to pay AJ?
I mean, Goodman.
Like, why would you go to
bad
UMass?
Scoop.
Yeah.
And he tweeted it out, and he got just
hammered.
crushed. Yeah. So very rare for someone as good as he is to do something like that. But
I wonder if he got played. I wonder if he got
might
played.
have gotten played. I mean, but to go public with it, that's another level. You know, you can have information and have a scoop, but if you don't know if it's 100% credible, it's hard to go public. But he decided to go public with him. The likely destination, I think the tweet said, is UMass.
Yes, sources say it could be UMass. He didn't say it was a done deal, but there was speculation. I'm like, what would UMass have to do? Give DeBonza half of the schools?
Yeah, name a wing after Ace.
Well, I mean, what would that cost you?
Yeah, a lot.
And look, AJ, the thing with him is you almost, if you're Jeff Goodman, you almost are like, well, he chose BYU, so maybe he wants to play close to home or get back to his local community. Or, I mean, he's the type of guy that if he's going number 1 this year, would he go again 1 next year with another year of polished play? Probably. He could have found a larger market to play in for his brand than Provo.
Yeah.
And, you know, he could have came back for another season. He could have got more NIL money and set a record. I mean, he would have been the highest paid player.
He scrubbed the tweet since.
Yeah.
So he took it down.
To no one's surprise except Jeff Goodman, DeBonza announced last Thursday from his former middle school in Brockton, Massachusetts, that he will declare for the NBA draft. And I have not backed off my stance that he will be the number 1 pick in the draft. I've said that from last summer. I'm not going to change my mind now. Yes, we've talked about Boozer. Yes, we've talked about Peterson. Yes, they have some. This is a loaded draft where the top 10 to 12 picks could all be superstars. Who knows?
Yeah,
this freshman class in the NCAA tournament was all season really was stars in the making.
Yeah.
So, but look, I mean, DeBonza's had a flair for this. He announced his decision on ESPN with Screamin' A that he was going to BYU over North Carolina, Kansas, Alabama, and everybody else. You know, he got the Cougars preseason number 8, which was their highest preseason ranking ever. You know, because of his play and his intrigue, you know, BYU was on the opening night doubleheader against Villanova in Vegas. To start the season. Like, I wish we had another year of DeBonza because BYU basketball was fun to talk about and more interesting with him this year than ever before.
Definitely more intriguing to cover BYU basketball. Previous years, the Pope years. I mean, they had some good teams, but these last 2 years with the Sweet 16 last year or 2 years ago, and then this year's team with all the talent they had and just the unfortunate injuries. I mean, the program's definitely trending up. For anyone who's not a BYU fan or supporter, I'm sure their fans and supporters, alumni all know that the program's trending up. But for the naysayers that don't believe in Kevin Young, the facts are the facts. I mean, BYU's in the tournament 2 years in a row, and that doesn't happen all the time. So
Yeah.
good start for Kevin Young. And I think AJ, obviously the best player in college basketball. He won't be back. I thought he would based on what Goodman said, but I got fished in. But
fished in on that
I
one.
mean, I definitely lean on him for a lot of stuff in college basketball.
And usually
'cause
he's right.
great.
Yeah.
You know, he's great.
Even the
So
best miss sometimes.
That's right. That's right.
That's why I wonder if somebody, gave him just some bad info that he was
but wouldn't you double, triple, quadruple check most likely
on something like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a big storyline.
It just didn't make sense when I saw your text. I was on the golf course. I'm like, no,
And I
no
thought
way.
it was. I thought, oh man, it's probably Goodman Hoops with a zero as one of the O's or something, some troll account. But no, that was the real Jeff Goodman. Just got a bad scoop. It happens.
What are you going to remember most about DeBonza's season at BYU?
Probably just that he didn't win Big 12 Player of the Year, and he was the best player in the league for sure. I mean, that's probably one that's probably sticks with me still, as the voters of the Big 12 gave it to Jaden Bradley from Arizona. He's kind of the best kid on the best team type thing. I thought we didn't do that in college sports, so I thought that it should have been AJ. And that's probably my biggest glaring thing is just watching him in Big 12 play. He was the best player in the league last year, better than really anybody that was on the other side of the court. So, he was the most transcendent basketball player to ever play for BYU. I think that's easy to say.
I remember that ruckus game at Madison Square Garden where he had 22 of his 28 points in the second half. They were down 21. They come back. They beat Clemson on Rob Wright's buzzer beater.
Yeah.
He also did break Danny Ainge's freshman scoring record with 43 points. That was in the game against the Utah Utes, and they swept the Utes this year.
Okay. Yeah.
They beat Texas Tech during the regular season finale. He had 21 in that game. They beat the number 10 team in the country. That was a memorable game. Even in the tournament, I mean, with his teammates struggling, he poured in 35 points and had 10 rebounds in that 79-71 loss to Texas. As a Cougar, he finishes with 894 points, third most by a freshman in NCAA Division I history.
Yeah.
And yet he wasn't the Big 12 Player of the Year.
That's right. That was probably the biggest oversight by the voters, I'd have to say.
And look, I mean, for Cougar fans, like, he endeared himself when he wasn't, handing out shoes to underprivileged. He was handing out ice cream cones at the local McDonald's. He had a Book of Mormon class and talked about it on ESPN. He showed up, cheered for other teams on campus, went to the women's games. Like, he was a great student,
great
athlete
ambassador.
at BYU.
Great ambassador for BYU.
So they're going to love him forever. He's got a lot of Cougar fans. They're going to really root for him.
Yes.
For his entire NBA career.
I'd say whatever NBA team drafts him, you'll see a lot of those NBA jerseys of DeBonza, whatever team it is, in the Marriott Center next year.
Yeah, and I can't blame those fans for that.
Yeah, that'd be a great pickup. If I were a BYU fan, I'd want his pro jersey.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
The NBA draft odds, Utah's got a 7% chance to be the 5th pick, 11 to get the 4th pick, 11.2 to be the 3 pick, 11.4 to have the 2 pick, and 11.5 to get the number 1 overall pick.
And I'm going to my tankathon.com, the draft lottery simulator.
Well, unfortunately, 27% to be the 6th pick is the highest.
Yeah.
And 17% to have the 7th pick, but only 2.4% to be the 8th pick.
Okay. I just simmed the lottery 4 times. The Jazz got the 4th pick twice, the 2nd pick once, and the 1st pick once. So pretty good.
We don't know who we're going to get.
Yeah, it's
they're going to get a good player, though.
Yeah, it's pretty random. I mean, these numbers, the ping pong balls, it's just all in the luck of the ping pong balls.
Yep. We'll see how it plays out with the NBA. That's what Jazz fans have been looking forward to for a while, right? Is the NBA draft lottery.
Yes.
What day is that on?
I'm not sure.
It's coming up in May. It's like NBA. 2 weeks away, I think. And that'll set the May 10th. May 10th. And that'll set the top 14 picks in the NBA draft. All right. Take a break. Come back. Lots more to get to. Rolling through hour 2. It's 8:35 on the drive. Thanks for locking us in, loading us up. Show today brought to you by TDS. What can they do for you? Well, hellotds.com. You can learn more. Internet, telephone service, and high-speed internet. They got you covered with everything over there at TDS. We'll take the break. Back in a flash. Never sold out, baby. Always FREE, free to listen to The Drive. Devin, Paulie, Tara, all hanging out with you. Good morning, sports fans. Here in the Finley Hyundai Studios. Love our sponsors. Shout out to our sponsors. Zag, Protect It Better. I was with my son yesterday. I hadn't seen him for a little bit, and he's back home for the summer from college, and And I'm like, where's your phone case? He's like, I broke it. I'm like, do you know that if you have a Zag case, you can go take it in and warranty it like a screen protector? And he's like, no, I didn't. I threw it away. I'm like, you knucklehead. So now you know. Now you know. So if you break your case or it's time for a new one, go see our friends at Zag and get decked out. Everything for your phones. Appreciate Jimmy John's. Keep those highlights of the week nominations coming in. Appreciate Wilkinson's. Of course, Soda Diet and Nutrition, Prime IV, One Health St. George, and our friends at Game Day Men's Health. Bringing you the show today. Make sure you enjoy the night and get those free T-tests. Reclaim your game, man cave environment. Guys, you're going to love it. It's where I go. 435-265-4223. Reclaim your game with Game Day Men's Health. Call or text for your free T-test, 435-265-4223. And Coral Canyon Golf Course. Didn't want to forget Marco and our good friends at Coral.
Yes.
I was out there yesterday playing my Rev golf match. And my wife's like, really? You just got home from a golf trip and you got to golf? I'm like, well, I got to get my weekly round in. The next week starts. And so I had to sneak out there. But I had a good time with my son. Still came home and cooked up some nice steaks for dinner. It was good to be home for a night. After being gone, you forget how much you miss sleeping in your own bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I gotcha.
Let's put all our attention on the Mammoth momentum right now and talk about Knights Mammoth. Paul, you were at the morning skate practice session yesterday.
Yes, in Sandy. It was great.
Yeah, how is the facility there in Sandy?
Very nice. Very nice. They gave me one of the security guys, because I got there pretty early, kind of walked me around and showed me some things. It was nice. It's a top-tier facility for practice.
So obviously they practice in Sandy. They don't practice at the Delta Center.
The old Southtown Mall is basically where it is. So yeah, it's nice.
Caught up with a couple players and wanted to play this clip. This is Paulie and a couple of reporters yesterday on the off day talking with former Golden Knight Nate Smith. I thought you had a really good question right out of the gate. You kind of froze Schmitty a little bit.
Yes, this was a good reaction from him, and it was a good answer, I thought. Really good answer.
You've been in some locker rooms, Washington, Vegas, Florida, championships, Stanley Cup cultures. Where does this locker room and leadership stack up to those locker rooms?
It's we're a little bit fresh on the experience side, so I'm going to get back to you on that, okay?
Okay.
I just there's however you look at this, good, bad, or indifferent, right? Like we have a different style here, which is to say might not work in another place, or it's just that style might not work here, right? So I like how our guys have elevated themselves to this challenge so far, and right now that's all that matters. Is our guys are in the series and are best in the series.
You got it.
Interesting answer. I thought even when he gave it to
fresh.
me. Yeah. I mean, he was, I thought he was going to be like, yeah, we got this leader and this leader and this leader, and they're doing a great job. And he's like, well, we're pretty new here. That was kind of like the summation of that answer is like their leaders are still being formed in these moments because they've never been there in this situation. So I thought it was a really good answer. Schmidt's a great guy too. Always has been with the media and the fans. So that was a cool question and answer from Nate Schmidt.
I like Nate Schmidt.
Yeah.
And I have to cheer for him no matter where he goes.
Yeah, he seems like a genuine good guy.
I got a signed a stick. I think I got a signed puck and a jersey from Nate Smith.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Wow.
From that.
Do you want me to go trade that in for you for a Mammoth one?
Nope.
Yeah,
I'm keeping it from the good days.
Keeping it.
Good days.
The golden years.
I can't understand that. At first glance, it just seems like bandwagon fans and traitorship to me. But I guess if you were just a borderline fan and you're a Utah,
well, you're not really borderline if you're buying a $180 jersey. Like these were Knights fans. Let's make that clear. Like these were Knights fans that live in Utah that have made the switch. There's no other way to put it.
And I guess I got to be okay with that.
You got to be okay with it. These people are from the Beehive State. Vegas and Salt Lake are 6 hours away, So it's like, for these people, it's an easy switch to make, especially success breeds more fans.
Is it as easy in St. George, though?
I don't
We're
think it's as easy
closer
here
to Vegas to watch a game.
I think if they did a jersey swap at the Sun Bowl or Greater Zion Stadium for Mammoth jerseys, I don't think there'd be a huge line. I think there's the people that are Knights people in St. George are Knights people. I don't think they're going to waiver or switch. But if you're in Salt Lake where the team is, being the Mammoth, and you're a Northern Utah person who was a Knights fan, and you got a jersey and you swapped
But
it.
you're not from Utah, and you seemingly made the switch.
Seemingly. I like how you say seemingly.
It's how it appears.
Okay. I mean, I'm a Caps fan. I've always maintained that. So I like to see all the local teams do well. It just is unfortunate that they've pitted both of our teams against each other in a first-round series.
I'll admit I didn't want this series in the first round.
Yeah, me neither.
I
Not
wanted
in the first round.
I wanted to see it later. I wanted both these teams to get a
Correct.
series win and then potentially meet up later.
Because if the Knights are playing the Dallas Stars, I'm rooting for the Knights. That's the thing.
I was talking to my buddy, and he's like, I'm a Utah man, and he jumped in on the Knights.
Yeah.
But he seemingly has made the switch, and he's like, hey, look, whoever wins this series, I'm rooting for the rest of the way, no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, one of our listeners, Sean, Sean, he's an avid listener.
Yeah.
I put out a Facebook post of the crowd, and him and what appeared to be his son were in the game in Mammoth jerseys. And if I remember correctly, they were Knights guys at one point.
Yeah.
Hockey fans. They were supported the Knights. That's just one listener, and I think that example goes pretty widespread. Now, in St. George, like you say, would there be as much of a fervent response for a jersey swap if they did it here? I don't think. I think, like I said, people are entrenched in their teams in St. George. So you see a lot of Knight stickers on cars around town. I think they have a legit fan base in St. George, the Knights do, as do the Mammoth at this point.
Yeah, the urgency the Mammoth are playing with is fun, actually, to watch.
Yeah.
It's a little bit frustrating from a Knights fan perspective. I get that because the Knights have tried to, get them into a fighting match. They've tried to be the more physical team. They've tried to push in the latter half of the game. And the Mammoth have not folded. They have not panicked. In fact, when they got off that hot start, they went and doubled their lead again from 2 to 4.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what you have to do. So, look, a lot of fun. Game 4 tonight, going to be electric at the Delta Center. Mammoth have won 2 games in a row. If it's tied 2-2, you reset.
Yeah.
3-1, and I know this is a very experienced Knights team, and they won't panic. We had Jesse Granger on first hour, and he said he'd almost like to see a little bit more
Urgency. Yeah.
from the Knights. They're almost too calm right now, he said.
Pretty calm. And that's a mark of a veteran team, not wavering in their belief in their room. I think that they have a lot of talent on that team. And I asked Jesse the question. They've really muzzled Eichel, Stone, Marner, these top high-paid, your biggest cap hits on your team are not performing. Stone did. He got his power play goals in game 1 and 2. He was a ghost on the stat sheet in game 3, as was Marner, and Eichel had one that was literally gift wrap
game
for him.
2, I thought he might have elevated that puck with 2 seconds left, and instead he went low. If he elevates that puck, I think he has a game winner.
Yeah. Game tie.
Or game tie, yeah, would have maybe sent it to overtime, and then they could have went on to win. You're absolutely correct on that. But Torch keeps saying, look, this is a good leadership group in Vegas. They've gone through it. They know who they are. They know how to handle this situation. Well, tonight the situation is you better win.
Yes.
Because 31%, that's doable. The odds are not stacked against you. You're down just 2-1. But if you go down 3-1, that changes everything.
It does.
Tara, what are your thoughts on the matchup tonight?
Yeah, it's not a must win, like you said, but it kind of is, because if they do go down 3-1, I think the Mammoth will go into Vegas with a lot of momentum and can definitely steal it.
Yeah.
See another first round knockout for the Knights.
So you go from 31%. If you lose tonight, the odds of coming back down 3-1 go to 9%.
Yeah.
So, winning 3 games in a row, I don't know how many different times the Mammoth did that during the season, or the Knights, or any random NHL team. Winning 3 in a row is not out of the norm. But playoff hockey's a little bit different.
Yeah.
And home ice matters, and obviously, regardless of
I would.
what
go ahead.
I was going to say, regardless of tonight's outcome, the Knights are just hoping to get home ice back tonight.
Yeah.
They have to split.
Well, that's what I was. So at practice yesterday, there was a good contingent of Vegas media too. So I talked to Danny Webster from the Las Vegas Review Journal. I think we've had him on.
Yeah,
in the
we've had
past
Danny
as
on
well.
before. Yeah.
So I was talking to him about just the level of urgency, and he's like, "This is a group that's not going to waver. They're not going to fold. They're not going to pack it in. They're going to be able to fight back." And he expected them to win Game 4. He said, "I fully expect them to push back hard in Game 4." And then you go to another guy. We didn't have the KSL Utah perspective today, but really sat beside Cole Bagley from KSL the whole practice and just talked to him. And we talked about my team. The Caps melted 3-1 leads, 2-0 leads all the time in the early years. And it can happen. And he said if Vegas gets it to Game 7, he doesn't think the Mammoth can win in T-Mobile in that environment. So, this really is the swing game, realistically. Tonight is the swing game.
Yeah, but they're playing with such hype, such vibes, such piss and vinegar, if you will. Like this team is buzzing right now. I remember when you first showed me the series price, and the Mammoth were plus 150. I think
that's right. Someone has them on this show before the series. I don't know. Let me look around. I can't remember. It wasn't you.
No. I didn't touch that wager.
Yeah, well, we said it on the show.
Yes.
You were
I picked the Knights. You picked the Mammoth. Clearly,
that's right.
Yeah. I'm in a no-win situation because my team's the favorite.
Yes.
They were plus 150, so I took a flyer. It's not that hard to pick an underdog.
I got real belief.
It's not hard to pick an underdog once in a while, especially when it's a Utah team.
I'm not doing the age-old radio bit where you just pick the underdog, and if it hits, you look like a genius. No, I believe in the Mammoth.
I don't believe momentum ever stops building one direction or another.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of momentum already in this series, and the Mammoth have all of the I always talk about Uncle Momentum, Uncle Mo. And I feel like the Mammoth have a lot of momentum going into tonight. So you're going to need a championship caliber effort tonight to win on the road for the VGK. They're slight favorites, minus 120.
Yeah.
On a given regular season game, Knights are usually favored minus 150 plus 160 some nights. Some of the lesser teams in the league, they'll be minus 220 on the money line. And then there's the top tier teams where the Knights have still been, Avalanche. There'll be a slight dogs if they played tomorrow, or some of the other teams out there. But it's going to be interesting. Vegas setting a tight line on that one. I thought the Mammoth should have been favored tonight, and I thought it would be more like a pick 'em.
Well, the books are expecting the pushback. They're expecting the Knights to.
I'm expecting a pushback.
Yeah,
because a lot of people. I'm going to be really nervous about my pre-series pick if the Knights do not win this game tonight. That will be in some serious jeopardy. This is the swing game.
Yes, in some doubt indeed. So we'll see. It should be interesting.
Yeah. What's your prediction on how tonight's game plays out?
Man. As positive as I've been for the Mammoth, I do think the Knights win tonight. I do.
I think we see overtime, but I think the Mammoth win.
Tara's got the Mammoth in OT.
3-2, Knights win. Regulation, I think. They got to push back. I mean, their season's on the brink, honestly. So,
but they're scrambling, like Jesse was saying. They've switched all their lines up, trying to get Dorofeev going.
Which scares me a little bit, but excites me at the other.
It's desperation, but they're making the moves they need to make. The Tortorella's watched the film. He's looked at the tape, and he knows that they've got some liabilities out there, and he's shuffling them up. That's why I asked the question. I presumed that there would be some major changes, and there are. So I think they're going to win tonight, the Knights.
One of the best storylines, too, is Mackenzie Weegar and Rasmus Andersson. They played Calgary. A ton at Calgary, a ton of minutes together, even earlier this season, and now they're trying to fight each other and punch each other in the face.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, who knows how many dinners they've had together. They were, you hang with your unit, right? They were teammates for so long.
Sure.
And Anderson is responsible for the cut and swollen left eyebrow. Uyghur reported after the game, or sported after the game.
I saw that yesterday, live in person. He was sitting at his locker. His face is a little chipped up a little bit. It's a little banged up for sure. But he's a tough guy. They all are. They're ready for it.
Anderson played good in game 1.
Had the own goal in game 2.
Game 2 was a disaster for Rasmus. Because when they traded for him in January, Uyghur went very next day or day before to the Mammoth. It was all right there before the trade deadline.
Yeah, Calgary had a fire sale, basically. So,
been a good trade for both teams, but more so for the winning team of the series. The losing team, that trade doesn't pop as much.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because they got him exited in the first round.
And Uyghur had the first goal in game 3. So, he's
first ever playoff goal at the Delta Center on a point shot.
And he had another goal in game 2. So defensemen scoring goals for you in the playoffs, that's an added bonus. If you're not Cale Makar or, these highly offensive skill guys, and Uyghur's offensive profile is not very deep. So for him to be able to score 2 for you in the playoffs is big.
If the Mammoth make a deep playoff run, what does that do to the offseason renovations at the Delta Center?
They asked that question at the press conference.
Oh, really?
They did.
Yeah.
They said it's going to set it back a little bit, but they still plan on completion, I think. So
just have to pay some overtime.
Some overtime for sure.
What do you think of Ryan Smith doing these social media giveaways to fill his suite up with?
I see Knights fans tweeting Bill Foley saying, "Where's our suite tickets with you?" And it's a cool thing by Smith. I got to say, he's
engaging the fans.
He's crafty with the way he does things marketing wise, showing up to Toshiba Plaza before the Knights game and dapping up all the Mammoth fans that were there, the jersey swap, all the things that he's done, the people in his suite for every playoff game and a lot of regular season games. I think that he really does connect with the fans on more than just a casual owner basis.
Yeah.
Did you get to talk to Gary Bettman on Friday night?
I did not get a question in, but yeah, he did a press conference.
With Ryan,
announced that the Winter Classic will be on New Year's Eve this year.
At Rice Eccles Stadium.
Rice Eccles.
How cool is that?
It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool?
Yeah, it's going to be the best outdoor event, I feel like, in a long time in Utah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome for the state of Utah.
It is.
100%. All right. Tonight, if you're not into the Knights Mammoth series, you do have some games in the association. You do have that Flyers game at 5. Knights Mammoth at 7:30, and then you got all those NBA games tonight. Docket looks like this. If you want to watch them, we'll recap these a little bit more in depth tomorrow. Again, Cleveland, San Antonio, Boston, and Houston won yesterday. Tonight, 6 o'clock on NBC and Peacock is Detroit at Orlando. Then it's OKC at Phoenix at 7:30. And it's 2-1 Orlando leading, and it is 3-0 OKC can sweep it tonight. They are 10.5-point favorites in the Valley of the Sun. And then the nightcap, Minnesota can close this out. They're up 3-1, but they have to do it in Denver. Denver is an 11.5-point favorite in this game tonight. That will be an 8:30 tip-off between Rudy Gobert and Nikola Jokic. The Joker. And then tomorrow you get back to Philly, Boston, Atlanta, New York, and Portland and San Antonio in the association. Busy show. Paulie, rate the show.
Good stuff. Jesse was great. Good content, draft day talk. I'm going to go 9-4.
9-4 on a Monday. Tara, rate the show.
Yeah, I'll say 9-5.
Okay. Jesse was great. Jesse Granger
very good.
From The Athletic. We'll have some more guests tomorrow morning. We'll be getting you ready for our finale of our high school baseball games. 3 regular season games left. Crimson at Pineview, Hurricane at Dixie, and Cedar at Snow Canyon. We'll be out broadcasting games tomorrow night. For Tara, for Paulie, I'm Devin. You guys, thanks for listening and watching The Drive. See you tomorrow.